Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, introduce the guest.
Guys, today we have on the show the Black Country banger. It's Jai Herbert. Jai, how are you doing? I know you're a big Wolves fan. Will Wolves beat Southampton tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Hopefully they'll beat him now. But you know, this season, this year, it's been proper unpredictable, man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think they'll do. I think they'll do the business tonight. To be honest.
Yeah, Joy. Like I saw, like obviously in the build up to your last fight, Wolves were actually shouting you out because you're a huge Wolves fan. That's well, how did that feel?
It's a bit surreal, to be honest. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I mean, I think they shared I shared a picture of me. I think on their Instagram and that, and or posted me or something. And bloody, I must got like I was getting loads and loads of followers, like thousands and I think I got like 3,000 followers or something on Instagram from that. But like they really like helped like pushing me and stuff. And then when I come back, the new fit when I had the new kit, away kit, they asked me to come down and do some shoots for them, and like they're posting pictures of me on their Instagram again, like, so it's really good, man. I was like really appreciate what they're doing for me.
That's we have to support your own. That's it, isn't it?
You do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was me and another guy from Wolverhampton called SX. He's like a music producer, like a bit of a rapper as well, a singer. And they said, oh, we could have got like loads of people in, but we thought we might as well just get like some people who are doing really good things in Wolverhampton at the minute, so and promote them. So I thought that was great of them, man.
That must make you feel real proud.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really, really proud, man. It shows that I'm like what I'm doing is getting recognition, you know, getting noticed.
Yeah, Joey, this year alone has been a bit of a whirlwind for yourself. You know what I mean? You were signed to the UFC. You were, as far as I'm aware, you were meant to fight over in London on the Edwards Woodley card. I think that's correct, isn't it? And then
DKC, yeah.
And then your son was born. Shout out to Jane. She's a wonderful woman. Then you were moved to fight Island, and then your opponent changed. You were supposed to fight Mark Diakese, I think, over in London, and then you end up fighting Trinaldo over in Fight Island. Tell us about this year for you, and you know how has it been, and you know how would you sort of surmise this year for you?
It's been a bit of a crazy one, you know.
That's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in, a lot to go through. Yeah, it's just like it's been non-stop, really. You know, I've just had something after. You know, like I had I was meant to fight DKC. You know, my son was born. Then I went to fight Ireland. Then I've come back. We've had all this corona like bullshit, basically. Lockdown and everything. I mean, I was meant to fight the 28th of December, in Vegas, but no, sorry. November, 28th of November. I was meant to be on this next weekend's card, to be honest, but that fell through because of the visa issue. I couldn't get my visa in time. I've got to go down there tomorrow to the US embassy to do to do my interview, like to get the visa. Obviously, I want to got it back in time and what they were doing in the UFC, they're not booking fights for anyone who hasn't got a visa. You have to have your visa in your passport first for them to book your fight. So, but luckily for me, I was meant to be fighting, so they're sorting the visa out for me. But at the minute, it's really hard to get one.
Yeah. So it's looking like you could end up in Fight Island in the new year again.
Well, I'm fighting in February next year. I've signed a contract already against someone I can't say, but it's a big fight, man.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. And is that going to be in? I think it's actually TBC, isn't it? Everything in the new year. Even the McGregor fight is supposed to be on Fight Island, but I think I don't know where.
I can't say where it is, but I'm not sure, to be honest either. He just says he just give me the date and the opponents, and that was on the contract.
It's not in Wolverhampton though.
The TV schedule. Go on.
It's not in Wolverhampton, is it?
Oh, fucking! I wish it was. You get me? Yeah, you sick. Nah, it's not in Wolves, mate. Nah, not at all. But yeah, I don't know where it is. It's just like you say, they've got the TV schedule, haven't they? So that they've got dates, so they have to. They'll just sort that. I'm assuming I'll find out in a month or so when we fight.
And Joy, when you were signed to originally fight Mark Diakese, was that like, were you buzzing for that fight? Because it was almost like the battle for like Britain's best lightweight.
Yeah, that's what that's what it was, to be fair. Like, cause yeah, it would have been like, you know, to settle who's the top lightweight from out of Britain, like, you know what I mean, or Europe. Yeah, I was buzzing for the fight. I thought it would have been a great fight for the fans as well. You know, it would have been a good fight. Both, it would have been a striking battle. You know, but it didn't happen. So it's one of them ones. And then I got to fight Ireland, and I think they offered me a couple of fighters first. I mean, that Jamie Malarkey from Australia. I was meant to fight him, and then that didn't happen for some reason. I don't know. Then like a couple of other Brazilians, and then they come back with me like 4 or 5 weeks out with Trinaldo, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll fight him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's an absolute veteran.
Right, so
he looks like he's about 50 as well when you see him on the TV. But like he's as strong as an ox, and like he's very well rounded. Obviously that fight became controversial for the first reason. He missed weight by 5 pounds, which is an awful lot. How did you feel when you saw he missed weight by 5 pounds?
When I saw him miss weight by 5 pounds, I wasn't really like, it just is what it is. Like, I couldn't really get like, I'm out in Abu Dhabi, like you know, you're just fighting him. If he was probably 10 pounds over, it's just, you're probably just gonna fight him, like, because he's just there. You get me? Like, you got, I come here to fight Ronaldo. That's what my coach said to me at the end of the day. We come here to fight Ronaldo. I said, no, yeah, fuck it, let's just fight him. You know what I mean? I'm not. Well, I was bothered. It was a piss take, really. You know what I mean? Because he was eating pizza a couple of days before. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. He was like, there was Instagram pictures of him eating pizza and all this shit, and I was thinking, like, that's why I was a bit pissed off and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
and then I got in there, and he was like, I could definitely feel it. You know what I mean? And he was after the second round, I think, I took his back. I think the grappling exchange. I remember standing up and thinking, fuck, you know. My legs were a bit shaky, like, because of like controlling him on the back and stuff. I had the 2 hooks in. I should have tried to get I probably should have tried to get the position a bit better than that. And like I said, gassing my legs out. But yeah, man, it was just, it's just one of them ones, man. But you know, it's what it is. You live and you learn from it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just one of those things when you look back in hindsight. I mean, when I was watching the fight, you know, I thought it was like 10-9 Ronaldo round 1, and then it was like 10-8 Jai Herbert round 2, and then it was going into a third. Like, I thought you were winning until he landed that punch. But it was just one of those things. I was like, well, maybe if he actually like drained himself to put the weight like he was supposed to be, he would have been as fresh going into round 3, and he wouldn't have been able to throw that strike that like did win him the fight.
Yeah, but it's you can't really look at that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he threw the punch and the punch landed. So just got to learn from it, man. Move forward.
And look, it's a tricky situation, isn't it? Like, because you're already there and you have to, like, you're like, right, dying to get the debut going, like, after the DKC fight fell through, and because you're on the island, you're like, here, look, I want to do it, because who knows if you say no to the fight, what could happen then? You know, it's a rock and a hard place, really, because people who don't make weight actually have a better percentage.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, man, it's just one of them ones, isn't it? Like, I mean, I've been hearing people say, I think Starbender said it after one of his fights, man, about people like missing weight on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, so they got the advantage in that and stuff like that. But because I just don't. It's a bit of a weird one, man, because like, he's never missed weight before or nothing, and like he was eating pizza a couple of days before and stuff. I'm thinking, what's going on with this guy, man? I don't know, man. Just one of them ones. But listen, I learned a lot from that fight. I'm gonna, you know, things right and you know, looking forward and I'm excited for the next fight, man.
We're definitely looking forward
to you
back.
Test.
I must say,
thank you.
Ronaldo is a tough out on your debut as well. Like, he's an absolute vet. He's like 40 already. You know, I think he's got about 15 UFC fights under his belt. So like, for you to have the balls to win and take Ronaldo on your first fight says more about you than anything else.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I was watching a fight the other day, and like his stats come up, and he was like, I think he was like 4th or 5th most UFC lightweight UFC wins in history. And I was like, fucking hell, yeah. You know what I mean? I thought this guy. I was on the way to winning, but like, it's all in hindsight now. You know what I mean? And you know, he won the fight, and that's the end of that, really.
Yeah. You also at least now you have plenty of notice before your upcoming fight in February. But like, Jai,
exactly. Yeah.
Jai, that'll probably keep you more stricter over Christmas time as well. You know, I mean, you have like a great focus now as well, which is always good to do. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I got a few weeks to relax a bit now, like, because I was meant, like I said, I've done like an 8-week camp because I was meant to be fighting next week, but that all fell through. So I'm feeling great at the minute anyway. So I'm just gonna have a week off and then back to it. Back not too hard, but I'll pick it up at the end of December, start of Jan. I can like pick it up and get straight back into. But like this time now, I can just practice on improving, not like so much concentrating on the fight. The next few weeks I could just do like try new things out and practice stuff I want to improve on.
Joy, did you have a name for next week?
I did, like about a month ago or so. I didn't really have it. I said, how do I say? What did they ask to tell me? Was it October or something? October, I think they told me. They asked me if I wanted to fight that Alexander Munoz or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Team Alpha Male. But I never got the contract, and then apparently they said, "Oh, that fight's not happening now." Then after that, I never had a name. That was the only name I was given, and I said I accepted that name. But I never had the it was never in writing. But yeah, Alexander Munoz, he was meant to. I was going to be fighting, but then that fell through about 4 weeks ago.
Pedro, Pedro Munoz. Okay, Joy, like obviously, like
no, Alexander Munoz.
Oh, Alexander Munoz. Sorry about that. Joy, like obviously you train with Team Renegade now, and like they're doing amazing things in England. Like, how did you first of all like come into MMA, and then how did you start out with Team Renegade?
Yeah, I just come into MMA. I was like, I just wanted to start go train and stuff. And there was an MMA gym that opened up around the corner from me. Well, sorry, in the martial arts gym, and they was doing MMA there. So like, obviously, I thought, I'll just go down there, get a bit fit and that. I might probably get beat up and that. I was a bit nervous and that going in there first, but I ended up going in there proper nervous and that. I thought I was gonna get battered and that, but I think, fuck it, I'll just give it a go. Went in there, and I was all good, man. But like my first MMA coach, I went there, and after a few, like, what he used to do is when the new people used to come in, he used to just do cardio the whole session, like a mad session, and he'd do it for the whole week, and then see if like he'd sort of test you, and if you got through that week and carried on, then he'd spend time with you then, and then help train you. We sort of just used to just test me in that. But then after that, like I had a few fights with him, Wolfpack MMA, and then I had a couple of fights, or four, I think it was 2 or 3 or 4, something like that. And then I went to that felt like that gym sort of closed down then. So I had to move over to Renegade in Birmingham with Breeze and that. And it's been great, ever since I've gone there. Like, it's like they brought me on loads. It's just like having the people there. Like the Edwards brothers, obviously Tom, or Aiden Lee. Like, there's loads of guys there. That brought me on, and it's just a great gym, great atmosphere, man. We're doing good things.
Yeah, that's brilliant to hear.
Yeah, Joy. So, with that, on the topic of the gym, what's your thoughts on Leon fighting Khamzat there in December?
I think that Khamzat's gonna have a surprise, a rude awakening. You know what I mean, when he fights Leon, because Leon's levels, mate. I'm telling you. So, like, it's mad how they've pushed him to fight Leon straight away. He's not even fought now in the top 15 yet or nothing, and he's going straight to Leon, who should be fighting for the title, really. It's just mad, man. But I think we're gonna see like the levels will be shown.
Something funny about this, Joy? I actually called Khamzat versus Leon Edwards after he fought Gerald Mearscart in his last fight.
That's true. That's actually true.
I actually said I think he's going to fight Leon Edwards next, and it wasn't. Obviously, we've had Leon on the show, love him, and it wasn't like anything to do with ranking or anything like that. But I think Leon's been overlooked so many times for that title shot, and I think if he beats like the UFC's new like superstar they're putting a rocket on, they cannot deny him after that. So therefore, I was like, I think that's the fight for Leon, and not because a skill level wise, I just think he's actually one of the biggest names in the UFC right now. Like, they're putting the rocket ship on his back and sending him to the moon. When Leon Edwards takes that rocket ship off him and puts it on his back, I think he has to be given his title shot after that fight.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he should be. If anything, he should have been like Masvidal or Colby or something. Then for the title.
I think so, but I think they're talking about those two doing. I think they might be doing the Ultimate Fighter, Masvidal and Colby.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think he should be fighting for the title. Like he's my boy in it, like so.
Yeah.
I just find, but obviously he's fully concentrated and he's fully on this fight, man. You know, he's been training incredibly hard and he's looking in fantastic shape. And that's why I say I think the levels will be shown. That's all I'm saying. You get me?
Yeah. I'm definitely interested to see him versus Usman too. Anyway, I think that like be totally different fight to his first, and like I feel like Leon's so good at nullifying his opponent's strengths. I think that's where he is like sort of levels ahead of people, and that's. I think he's also like
his fight IQ
as well, like in all areas of the game.
Yeah, it's his fight IQ, man, and he's just so well rounded everywhere in his game. Like you say, he can nullify his opponents, and he's just he's come on leaps and bounds, man.
Like as much as like a lot of people felt lost out because of coronavirus, like Leon had his huge opportunity in London when he was going to take on Tyron Woodley. But like I think this fight now is actually going to have more against Khamzat. It's going to have more eyes on it compared to the Woodley fight because like everyone's seeing what's next for Khamzat, and then once Leon goes out, and then if he gets to win. The second he gets the mic, he's going to ask for the title fight, and it'll actually give him so much more notoriety. Because even if he beat Woodley, that wouldn't have even guaranteed you a title fight as well. So this could probably end up being his greatest year.
Yeah, I hear that still. Like obviously, there's a lot of hype behind this Khamzat, and a lot of people be watching the fight. So I suppose that that's a good thing, isn't it? Like he's going to be a lot of promotion there, a lot of a lot of people are going to see the fight. So, yeah, and then after that, when he gets on the mic, bang, I want the title now, I want the title shot.
He shouldn't leave Vegas until he gets it.
What's going to be like? He's won like 8 in a row.
It couldn't even be 9. Yeah. Like, he's a machine.
Yeah, man.
You shouldn't leave Dana White's office until he gets the contract for the title fight.
For real?
Yeah, Jai, obviously another fight that was announced today was Conor McGregor against Dustin Poirier is finally announced. What do you make of this? Because this is your division.
Yeah, isn't it? Man. I think Poirier is a totally different fighter to what he was at, when they fought first. I think.
6 years ago, UFC 187.
Yeah, it was
178.
That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting to see the improvements that they both made and the differences. You know what I mean? I don't know. I fancy, to be honest. Who do you fancy?
Well, obviously we're back with our own. You know how it is. You know what I
mean? McGregor. Yeah, I think McGregor did, to be honest. Yeah, I fancy McGregor, man. Even though I think Poirier is like he's come on loads since he last fought Conor, so I think it'll be more of it'll be more of a contest, like. But I think McGregor will probably come through to win. Yeah.
And Joey, how do you see the rest of the division play out? Like, where do you think the belt will end up next if Khabib does stay retired? And who do you think are the main contenders? By the end of 2021, who's walking out of the octagon with that belt?
Jai Herbert, innit?
Yeah. I was waiting for that. You have to say yourself.
Yeah, but I think probably Gaethje, man.
Big fan.
I think Gaethje's still gonna get it. Yeah, I like that fight between Ferguson and
Charles
Oliveira. Yeah.
It's a wicked fight that is. I like
That's like Tony Ferguson and like Tony Ferguson's like nephew fighting each other.
In it, yeah, it's similar in the grappling and stuff. Yeah, man, it'd be good to see if it goes on the ground as well. I'd like to see that. They both got really good, guillotines and darces, haven't they? They're both good at in the neck.
Yeah, if it hits the ground.
But yeah, I think probably Gaethje will probably come through.
Another Brit, Mason Jones, recently signed with the UFC. How do you think he'll fare?
Well, I'm not too sure. I must see when he comes up against some like, decent opposition. I mean, he's fought. Was he fought John McColgan to win the lightweight title, and like Adam Proctor to win the welterweight title.
Yeah.
So wait till we'll see when he comes up against some like, some decent opposition, some good opposition, and we'll see how he fares then.
Yeah, you were obviously the champ. You were obviously the champion in Cage Warriors. What was your overall experience like? And looking at them now, what you make of what Graham Boylan's doing with Cage Warriors?
Oh, I love Cage Warriors, man. I think it was awesome. What time there? It's great. Yeah, he's getting like he's putting on shows in California, isn't he, or something?
Yeah.
He got a promoter license over there.
Crazy, man, crazy. I just want to see how it fares out. Like, is he taking over the Europeans over there, or is he trying to like get an American roster? Be good to see it all, man. It's going to be a great experience for the fighters if they do get. Well, I'm assuming some of them obviously will get to go over because they're the champions, aren't they? From the Europe.
Yeah.
So it's a really great experience for him, and it's good to see that Cage Warriors, they're expanding and getting bigger.
Joy, I love a good out prediction, and I was trying to. Boylan was thinking when he did this, and I think Dana White's going to do looking for a fight and go to one of the Cage Warriors over in California. So I think Graham Boylan's going to bring his best European talent over to California, put on a show, and then Dana White goes to it, and he almost like handpicks the guys who he thought deserved the UFC call. What do you think of that idea?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. I think my boys Jake Hadley and the Fires Frederick, I think they should get picked straight away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's his first middleweight defense next month, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Is he? Yeah, first. Yeah, first defense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the rematch didn't he against
Webb.
James Webb. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he was meant to fight. I think he was meant to fight a couple of months ago or last month or something. But September I think it was, and then that fell through. But he's fighting December against the same guy. I think is it Robertson or something, or Roberts? I know the kid is. Yeah, he's a decent guy. But nah, man, my boy, that is next level, man.
Baz, how much do you love Team Renegade? It's like us with the Irish lads. You know what I mean? Like they're always back in their own. They're always
No, there's a good few of the Team Renegade lads actually follow us ever since we had Fabian on first, and it's cool just watching like Matt, for instance, and now you're good mates with Matt as well, and then
mate.
Yeah, it's just cool keeping an eye on how you lads are doing. But Joy, obviously, Wolves is the game's after kicking off, so we're gonna ask you one more question before we let you go. Who are you expecting to win this weekend, Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.? Now, I never thought I'd ask that question, but there you go. That's the question of the day.
What? I don't even think there's not no knockouts allowed, is there? No knockdowns or nothing like that. That's
but you're not allowed to bite as well. You're not allowed to bite either, but like that happened before as well.
Roy Jones, man.
You're going Roy Jones?
Yeah, man.
Can't be touched.
Roy Jones, innit?
Good stuff. Well, here, great. Joy, thanks a million for coming on the show. We'll obviously be in touch again in the build-up to your next fight. We've been promoting it like fuck. And
100%. Thank you very much.
Until then, we'll speak to you again soon. Ross, anything else to say?
No, nice one. Goodbye to yourself and your lovely missus. Tell her we were asking for her.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. I'll let her know. Nice one.
All right, so Ross, that was Jai Herbert. What a man. Like, Team Renegade all the way, bud.
Wasn't like Wolves football jersey model.
Yeah, it's cool when you can cross over sports and like Joy's like, yeah, all about Wolves. It's I mean, it's just it's cool.
He's a lovely fella, and he's back in February against an unnamed opponent. We really should have asked him off air who he was fighting, but we sort of forgot because we were.
We definitely did forget. Like, but like, I don't like pushing the needle too much. It's just like pissing people off. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like Ross, we may as well get into the rest of the show. Obviously, UFC 255 was on over the weekend. We had two Ann Stills, Davison Figueiredo defeated Alex Perez, and Valentina Shevchenko defeated Jennifer Moya. Ross, like, going into this event, we thought to be two Ann Stills. I was pretty confident I put on $100 on the two of them to win, and they both won. But
and how much did you make?
What did I make? 40 cents off €100. But Ross, what did you make of UFC 255 overall?
I thought it was actually like a very high standard card now. Like, let's be honest, there was no superstars on the card.
Yeah.
But like, I'm talking like you had Alan Jouban on the card, then you had like Dalby versus Rodriguez, which you always knew was going to be a good scrap. You have Shevchenko, senior, who's actually not as good or whatever. So you're always interested to be like, Valentina's sister. Then, Joaquin Buckley was like the vital knockout. Had the number 1 contender fight for the flyweights. And then like he went on to the main card and you had Shogun fighting, Cynthia Calbao, who's our mate, who's fighting, and then Mike Perry fighting, and then the 2 title fights. So like it was a fairly like, what did I say? You didn't have to like Google who was fighting, if you know what I mean. You could look and just be like, right, I know everyone who's fighting here, so that's good.
Yeah, Ross, like in the very, very, very first fight of the night in the welterweight division, a guy called Sasha Palanikov against Louis Koch. It was the fight of the night. I remember I just tuned in and it was just like the best like fight I'd seen in a long, long time. Like Sasha was already finished straight away. Your man Louis blew his load in the first round, and then he was just trying to stay alive till the very, very end. It was just a great. If it's unreal how like if you start a fight night off or a pay-per-view off with a great fight, it just sets the tone for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I also think, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I feel like the welterweight division, you rarely get like an absolute stinker.
Well, especially if it stays in the feet.
I think like the welterweight division always has like half decent scrap no matter what. Like even Usman, when he beat Masvidal for the title, like it was still somewhat exciting, even though like it was foot stomp central.
Yeah, it was Lord of the Dance. But here, Ross, another person that won on this card as well. Before we get into the main card, Joaquin Buckley, the highlight of the year, like not even contender. Like he's definitely going to win it. He won by KO as well against Jordan Wright, who was undefeated.
I feel like he should fight Uriah Hall next, because I feel like he's the second coming of Uriah Hall.
That's actually a good show. Joaquin Buckley, was let go from Bellator after, I think he was like 5-1 and they let him go, which is actually ridiculous. This guy is I know he got knocked out by Kevin Holland, but like just everything about him, his look, like how devastating he is on the feet. It's he's a big asset.
Yeah, he's got like a really nice physique. I don't know if that's like kills there or not, but like he's got like he looks in very good shape. He looks very marketable, put it that way.
He looks very marketable, yeah. And then what headlined the prelims was Brandon Moreno defeating Brandon Royval. After we just found out Brandon Moreno is now going to be fighting Devson Figueiredo for the flyweight title as well. Quick turnaround for both lads as well.
Yeah, I think it could be the first time in UFC history where someone headlines one pay-per-view and then headlines the next pay-per-view. But look, Figueiredo, he's making a bit of noise in flyweight division, and it's the first time probably in flyweight history where someone's making a bit of noise. So why not get him and turn around again? I think the last time there was a big fight in flyweight, it was Cejudo versus Dillashaw.
Yeah.
So why not?
Then also, Ross, like Paul Craig defeated Mauricio Shogun Rua. Shogun at the very end, like tapped the strikes. It's weird to see a man go from like being such an animal to like tapping the strikes against like a jiu-jitsu practitioner. If like, you know what I mean, not even a striker or a KO knockout artist.
Yeah, it's almost sad to see. He should have hung them up. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. This is the thing we said, like, I think 2 shows ago. It's like, we shouldn't tell anyone to hang them up. But it's sort of like seeing the decline. Yeah, well, I think when they're...
I feel like BJ Penn, like, won legacy so bad that he was like, if I just get one more win, like a string of wins together, like, it would, like, make it better again. But it just never happened. I think he lost 7 in a row or something.
Yeah. I think, but even look at Mike Tyson, he's coming out of retirement now this weekend as well, which is crazy. But another thing, Ross, like Mike Perry. Let's talk about Mike Perry for a sec, right? For people that
are on Spotify,
yeah,
dab.
Ross, Mike Perry, in the build up to this, he was stuffing his face, missed weight by over 10 pounds, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, 5 pounds.
5 pounds. Okay, slightly a bit over there. But and then Darren Till did not end up being in his corner. What is the story of Mike Perry, and where does he go from here?
I feel like Mike Perry is making it look like he doesn't care, and I feel like he cares somewhat, but I think he needs like a counselor, if I was being honest. I feel like he needs to like talk to someone and tell someone about how he feels, because I feel like all his actions are like his emotions that he doesn't know how to express, and then just like does stupid shit. I feel like it was like a self-sabotage.
Do you think it's a bit of an act as well, though? Or a persona?
I think somewhat is a persona, but I think deep down, I actually think Mike Perry deep down is probably quite a nice guy who's maybe been brought up with a potential tough upbringing and now has to try and put on this tough guy act, and he's probably not that tough a guy at all.
Well, even the face tattoos are very erratic as well, you know?
Yeah, I think so. He does have an alcohol abuse issue as well. So, you know, maybe he was on the drink going into camp. But unfortunately for him, he ended up eating the L there to Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, one of your favourite fighters, Basil.
He is a bit of a legend, all right, yeah.
So I suppose that just sort of brings us into the two main cards, or main events. Valentina Shevchenko beat Jennifer Moya, not Damian Moya. Although she probably beat him too, by unanimous decision. 49-46 across the scoreboards. And then Davison Figueiredo got a guillotine choke in the first round over Alex Perez. Look, two sort of expected decisions. If anything, I would have thought there would be more chance of Valentina actually getting the finish than Figueiredo, even though he's like absolutely devastating. Just Shevchenko, I just see as like such a step above all the other 125 pounders. I think they're going to do Jessica Andrade next against her.
Already, yeah.
Flyweight belt. I think so, yeah.
What would you expect there? A bang fest?
Well, I think Jessica Andrade is a dangerous opponent for anyone. I mean, we've seen her knock out someone very sharpish and be knocked out quite quick. So it'll be interesting to see. I just do think that Andrade is not technically up on Shevchenko's level. I think Shevchenko will be able to pick her apart. And I also look at the tape of the Rose fights and be able to pick her apart by looking at that. She'll be able to do what Rose did, except even better, I think.
All right. Yeah, well, I'll sum you up that fight. But Ross, this weekend, UFC is back. Curtis Blaydes is taking on Derek Lewis in the heavyweight division.
Battle of the big dogs.
Battle of the big dogs, man. Like, on paper, this looks like if Curtis Blaydes takes Lewis down, he could be a fish out of water. But Derek Lewis has that massive right hand that can knock out anyone, especially in the last few seconds. You can ask Volkov that question. But
he is in the fight from like start to finish.
Yeah, and supposedly the longer the fight goes, his balls get hotter. But Ross, how hot will Lewis's balls be against Blaydes this weekend?
I really think Curtis Blaydes is going to get in here, get an early double leg takedown, and finish with a ground and pound. I just feel like Derek Lewis gets to ride his avoiding takedowns against guys who aren't takedown artists. I feel like Curtis Blaydes by far and large the best wrestler in the heavyweight division, and he'll definitely double leg him, especially the way Cormier was able to take down Derek Lewis. I feel if he was able to do it, so will Blaydes be able to do it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. As much as it hurts me, Ross.
But then again, Derek Lewis might get a knockout in the first 60 seconds. You never know. Alexander Ngannou versus Blaydes. Yeah,
it's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick, but
it won't go the distance anyway. You're not getting 5 rounds out of that.
Well, hopefully not. Like I've filmed Blaydes as well, but obviously you can't count Derek Lewis out. Ross, who else on this card do you want to give a shout out to? The Rachel Ostovich is on this card. She's doing great things for women's rights these days.
Anthony Smith is like curtain jerking the main card.
Yeah, what's the story with that?
I don't know. I actually don't know either of the two heavyweights in the co-main event. I feel like one of the Dana White Contender Series guy, and they're trying to push them. But I really thought Anthony Smith would be in the co-main event. Interestingly, and then shout out to Luke Sanders because he used to go out with Becky Lynch, but not anymore.
Oh, Great White Buffalo, one that got away. Ross, also Spike Carlisle's on this card. Isn't he a madman in the octagon?
Yeah, do you remember he was fighting Billy Quarantillo, wasn't it? And then like he stopped fighting with like 15 seconds left to go, and then Quarantillo went over and like hooped him over.
Yeah, well, like this fight card will be competing with the Mike Tyson card that we're going to get into shortly. But Ross, also Bellator was on Thursday night. The Featherweight Grand Prix was on. AJ McKee defeated Darian Caldwell. AJ McKee is now in the final. Ross, you yourself thought that AJ McKee would win this. He's 17-0 now. Where, like, how much of a superstar do you think AJ McKee can become?
Well, put it this way: even though James Gallagher and AJ McKee have had words in the past, James Gallagher even tweeted saying, "Wow, incredible performance by AJ McKee."
Yeah,
I mean, so I think he can go all the way to the top.
He's the real deal, isn't he?
McKee, very much so. I think he could be the one to knock Pitbull off his perch at featherweight. And size-wise, looking at him, he looks like he has the size to be able to go to lightweight as well.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to keep an eye on him. Also, he'll make serious bank. He gets $1 million if he wins this Grand Prix. So let's see what happens there. Bellator won't be back until I think it's the 12th of December.
Okay.
We'll keep you posted on that. Alina McFarlane is fighting on that card. So there's nothing on this week from Bellator. But Ross, this weekend, I know we asked Jai, but we may as well discuss it a bit. Mike Tyson is back. He's taking on Roy Jones Jr. This, like, when this was first announced, we were sort of under the illusion it was going to be like a proper fight. Now we're finding out more and more it's not. There's going to be no judging. There's going to be no ref or something. Like, what have you heard? And also, what do you expect?
I've heard most of my sources from you, Basmo.
the biggest spoofer in the game. The biggest spoofer in the game.
I think Jai Herbert was saying, like, they're not allowed to be knockdowns either. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, they're just going to, like, shadow box for a few minutes.
I'm not sure, because I heard there was a belt as well.
Well, is it? Yeah, the YouTube title. They're fighting for KSI's belt.
Yeah.
Tell me this. How many rounds is it? I think it's only 4 rounds. Or maybe 6 max, but I'm pretty sure 4 rounds.
Oh, is it? It's because it's pay-per-view as well, man.
I know, yeah. I feel like it's so there's so many unknowns. I feel like they didn't want to tell you all this stuff until the very end, until like you're already on the flight, like about to take off. It's like, by the way, we're not actually going to Las Vegas. We're going to Donegal. Yay!
It's like you wide and packed loads of shorts. but Ross, like, this is £19.95 on BT Sport. It's gonna be a late one. It's gonna be on around 4 o'clock. Also on the card, like, sorry,
4 a.m.
Yeah, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Make sure you remember that. But also on the card, like, Jay Paul's going to be fighting Nate Robinson, former NBA basketballer. Vidal Riley, coach of KSI, is going to be fighting this card. Badu Jack is going to be fighting this card. So, like, it is going to be very, very interesting. I can't actually wait to see, like, Roy Jones Jr. fight Mike Tyson in whatever sort of way it's going to be it sparring, be it, like, whatever they're going to do. It's going to be interesting. But, like, last time Mike Tyson fought, he quit on the stool. That was 15 years ago against an Irishman. And Ross, can you remember the Irishman's name?
Absolutely not.
Starts with a K and ends with a Evan McBride.
Oh, keep on McBride.
There we go. But what do you?
I actually remember the fight, but I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, like, it's hard to even predict a winner because we don't know what the winner will be or how that will be.
Yeah, my prediction's draw.
I just can't picture Mike Tyson getting a few punches in the face without unleashing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see. What are you looking forward to more, that card or? There's going to be no fans in the arena either, so that's going to be in LA, in the StubHub Arena. So are you looking forward to that more or the UFC this weekend?
I think I'm more looking forward to the spectacle of Tyson versus Jones, just to see what it's all about. Because the only fight I'm actually interested in UFC this weekend is Blades versus Lewis. So
yeah.
2 big heavyweight contests going on this weekend.
Yeah, we also mentioned earlier that McGregor versus Poirier is done and dusted. That's good to see that that's done and dusted. There's been no message of an interim title or a title, but that's the way it is. Ross,
but who knows? That could be decided right at the last minute. After UFC 256, they could go, you know what, UFC 257 is for the belt. Yeah. Still early days for that, I think.
Do you think that, like, Khabib could then officially? Well, like, he already said he's retired. So I mean, what more does he need to do? Like, retire?
He came back down, like, he doubled down on his retirement, and then he goes, no, he's fighting. Dana White probably just trying to sell the company again. He's like, Khabib's going to fight again. And Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar for UFC 300.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, actually, Dana White was saying for International Fight Week next year, he's going to have like a mad party and fight on, and like whatever competition you have to do to enter that, make sure you enter that. But Ross, we have to give a shout out to Dylan Moore win over the weekend. Tony Superfight Brown, Vlad was fighting on the card as well,
and John Connie,
John Connie, aka John Cooney. But Ross, like obviously this week, like there wasn't loads of action going down. Although it seemed like there was, but like it was good to have Joy on the show. Like keep those bonds strong between the Team Renegade lads. Getting some insight about Leon's upcoming fight against Khamzat, and then his opinion on McGregor versus Poirier.
Well, quick question for you: what do you think of the rats in the FAI?
I still don't know what's going on there.
All right, fair enough. But for anyone who is listening, apparently Stephen Kenny showed an either pro-Irish or anti-English video before the game against England. I don't think the issue was the video so much. I think the issue more, according to people, is that someone ratted them out and said they didn't like the video. So, like, I think Stephen Kenny's job was like on the line. They were like, you know, it's actually not a big deal. So, like, it's grand, lads. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure. All the international football stuff is forgotten about until it comes back in March.
Yeah, I think it would have been a bigger issue if it came in before the Bulgaria game and then we didn't score again.
Yeah, if it was like a Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing. But what's on this week for people that are interested? The Champions League's back Tuesday, Wednesday. Europa League's back Thursday. All the fights are on Saturday, and then the Irish rugby team are back in action against Georgia on Sunday after coming off that loss against England. But Ross, we're back. We're going to be back again next week. We'll keep you posted on everything on Instagram. By the way, for people who have donated to our Movember fund, that's been unreal. We've reached over €500. I think we were meant to mention that at the beginning of the show. It's come at the end of the show. The link's in the bio to donate. Ross, when's that finished?
Yeah, it can actually run into December. So I think we closed it off ourselves.
I'm sort of digging the tash though. Like,
I'm actually not overly against point, you know that?
Yeah, I think it's more that we haven't been out socializing, so people haven't really seen it. Is the one downside to it, you know? You haven't been.
You're going to Tash without anyone going, oh, Movember.
Yeah, it'd be like getting a whole chest tattoo and only wearing it, never take your top off. But that wraps things up. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or commented, please do. We appreciate it.
What are you doing?
We appreciate you. We'll be back again next week. We have some more cool guests lined up. There's more stuff coming up. So like, share, subscribe, and as always,
stay energized.